Bad Movie Crew. Bad Movie Crew.
And we are back with another edition of the Bad Movie Crew. I'm your host, Neil. He is your host, Mark.
Heal.
And together we are here with another edition of the BMC, here to review another movie. Now, you're liking the content, like, comment, share, subscribe. Dislike, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, because we're trying to get some content. We got some things kind of toying with in the background. So if you don't want to miss anything, stay notified, stay subscribed, and let's get into it. Now, my brother, what are we reviewing on this episode of the Bad Movie?
Today we are reviewing Moonfall.
Moonfall, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Moonfall, which was released on February 4th, is directed by Roland Emmerich. Now, you know Roland Emmerich from movies such as Independence Day Resurgence.
Gotta stop there.
No. Hold on. This is important.
True. Very true.
Independence Day Resurgence sequel, Godzilla from 1998, The Day After Tomorrow, 10,000 BC, 2012, White House Down. Those are the movies he directed. He also wrote most of those movies: Independence Day, 1 or 2, Godzilla, Day After Tomorrow, 10,000 BC. He wrote 2012. He wrote those movies too, along with Harold.
So much sense now.
He wrote the movies with Harold Closer and Spencer Cohen. Those guys also collaborated with him in one way or the other with the other movies as well. Well, Spencer Cohen, he wrote Extinction. So then there's that. It was produced by Roland Emmerich and Harold Closer. A bunch of Chinese and American companies produced it as well, co-collaboration, because this is partly produced and distributed, partly produced by Chinese companies. This is starring Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, John Bradley, Michael Pena, Charlie Plummer, Kelly Yo, and Donald Sutherland. Minute role. When they said Donald Sutherland just now, when I was looking it up, I was like, he was in this movie, and I then remembered he was in it for 5 minutes. Not even. And this movie made $54.2 million against $138 to $146 million, and it is 2 hours and 10 minutes long. So
that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Yes. So now, Mark, we would have watched Moonfall.
Mm-hmm.
We have given it.
Mm-hmm.
We've shown you the pedigree. Roland Emmerich, Harold Closer, those guys that would have written, done the music, etc., on all of those movies from back in the day. This is a disaster movie. Moonfall is obviously a science fiction movie that has the premise of the moon is falling out of orbit and plummeting to Earth, causing all types of destruction. And Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry, our astronauts, joined along with John Bradley. They're all coming along this wild ride to save the planet and get the moon back into its orbit. Now, just letting you all guys know, spoiler alert, we will be spoiling this movie. If you really do plan to watch Moonfall and you really think that this is something you want to put in your rotation to see, then you're warned. Pause it, put us in your favorites, give us a like, and come back to us and listen to our review. Now, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We watched Moonfall.
That we did. That we did.
How was the movie for you?
The movie is so bad that you got to like it. Like, all right, I'm gonna say it's a disaster movie, so any number can play. Like, we know in these movies, something can happen, and they're gonna jibber jabber and make it make sense and bring some sense. So you can tell yourself, all right, any number can play. I want
to be very clear. There's a lot of sense in this,
There's that.
There's some,
but any number can play. Like, any number can play in this. So I was like, all right, it's an interesting premise. The moon is out of orbit. What are you going to do to put it back into orbit? Put it back in its orbital path. To be fair, I don't think there's ever been a science fiction disaster movie quite like that. We've had asteroids, we've had solar flares, aliens, but to say that the moon is out of rotation and it's coming closer to Earth and all of that, that's an interesting premise. And I saw it cool. maybe gonna be worth my 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yes, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Like when I saw that, I was like, Jesus Christ, we back in this territory again.
Your mom messaged me. Your mom quite literally messaged me and said, "You can't find a shorter one."
All right, then. So
I didn't look at the time, to be honest, when we said we can review it. But.
it's a cool, no problem. And I go, I cool, and it starts so innocent. I want to say innocently enough. It starts so like cool. Men in space, some shit goes wrong, and my man has to land the shuttle with no electronics.
Well, hold on. If you want to start from the beginning,
Mm.
I did not know it was I blessed the rains down in Africa. That to me was the best part of the movie. And it came within the first 5 minutes. I was like, I thought it was I test the rains down in Africa. And I used to be singing loud. But apparently, that Toto song Africa, it is I bless the rains down in Africa.
Wait,
Who knew?
You shitting me? Are you shitting me that you didn't know it was blessed? Are you?
Oh, I didn't know that shit.
It was blessed. The rains.
Okay. So they put it in the movie.
Like we really need to talk about this.
No, we don't really need to talk about it. Wait, hold on. As my mom said, I test the rains, I bless the rains. Does it matter? I bless the rains down in Africa. That make it any better?
Yes. Will you test the rains doing for alkaline acidity?
But how do you bless rain, Mark?
You're blessed by rains in Africa.
No, put your high pitched voice as if it's obvious and common knowledge. How do you bless the rains down in Africa?
Your mama ain't nowhere pray for the rain.
Instead of testing it for alkaline. Which, ladies and gentlemen watching this review, tell us which one sounds more sensible and plausible. I test the rains, testing it for alkaline, or blessing the rains like habam holy doing rain
now. The band name to a dog from the Wizard of Oz. Anyhow, back to the topic at hand. So okay, fine. Starts out innocently enough. My man got land some shit goes wrong. My man got land the shuttle without electronics. He's hailed as a hero. All right. Obviously, there gotta be a cover up. My man get the short end he stick. Halle Berry career keeps going. Cool, no problem. Then you just bring this weirdo and talk about the moon is actually a mega structure and is this next and the fourth one. They're like, oh, all right. So we really take a detour here. Okay, no problem. I with you. And then the man just decide we are going to throw every sci-fi plot that has ever been thought of into this movie. At a point in time, when the man was like, oh yeah, well, you know, the moon landing was fake. I mean, not fake, but they cut the feed because they find something and this, next, and fourth. I was like, Justin Marvel write this. Like this is a conspiracy theory movie. Like Justin Marvel write this. I was like, all right, yeah, cool, no problem. Biggest of Justin, by the way. But I was like, how we get here? And then you get the Terminator plot. You get
Terminator. Oh, right.
You get the AI coming in later. Yeah. What I need today.
I almost forget about that part. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's so much things. Like
you had the Terminator plot. You had Mission to Mars plot where we are descendants of people from space and whatever our DNA is from theirs. Even right down to the last beat where one of them actually had to stay with the alien to help protect information. You obviously had all the disaster movies. You had Tidal Wave from Day After Tomorrow. You had asteroids hitting from Armageddon. Like the men decide we are going to throw everything in it. At a point in time myself, I was like, all right, cool. See this it? I made a clipboard and just was like, all right, lie to me. Just lie to me. Whatever you tell me here, I believe. You get through me, Roland. I already invested at least an hour. Carry along with the sweet lies. I put this out here with Fast and Furious. I know you was lies. Just tell me the sweet lies.
Another one lies. Of them sweet.
Met the lies look pretty. Bullshit, yada. McGuffin me enough with that got little science or common sense, right? I like it. The movie's just bad that you got to like it. Like, it's just so bad you have to like the movie. And I'm just like, all right, no problem. The moon is a mega structure. There's an energy source inside. There's some sentient AI that thinks humans are the bane of existence. Maybe onto something, but that's for another type of podcast.
Yep.
But fine, cool, no problem.
Above our pay grade.
above our pay grade, but fine, no problem. Bring the lies, let me lay down, watch this movie, and then just like, yes, Roland, you get through me. But when you list everything that this man do, this movie made so much fucking sense. The man said, well, I ain't back a movie in a while. I got a little back. I got a little back in here. Anybody got any unused scripts, or there's any scripts we could put together?
No. He ain't use not unused scripts. My mom said, when the thing is the king says, for disaster, when again, don't see what time it is. I threw everything in the pot. Everything.
And they just, they're like, all right, cool. No problem. Like I said, the movie is just that bad that your brain shuts off most of the logic and just say, well, this could have, look, if I see Dom Toretto turn up with a charger and holler, I bought my family, I was like, cool, makes sense.
I'm here for my family.
Makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like, I ain't even talking about the other like there are no other themes after this movie. Like, I didn't check it for the subplot. I didn't care for the people that were still on Earth. Like, I didn't care for the people that were on Earth that was gay, that had to battle the effects of the moon coming close, like his family, and I mean, for the time I realized who the character that Michael Pena was playing, I said, well, you can dead, because right now you obstructing the protagonist from getting back with his wife, so you got to dead. As is always happening. That was very cool.
That was also in the plot of 2012. I watched 2012 literally 2 days ago on TV.
Exactly.
And guess what? The stepfather dies.
Got to die.
Gotta go.
And they just, they're like, yeah, all right, cool. I didn't care about the subplot. I didn't care about the logic of the subplot. I didn't care about the logic of the movie. I just was like, pretty lights. Decent CGI. I said decent. I said great. I said decent.
Right, was it even decent for me?
But the space scenes were cool.
Stop it.
The space scene was cool.
Space scenes are dark. You can hide bad CGI in dark scenes. Don't get tired.
No. Hold on. Judging by other project, not everybody could do that.
But hold on a minute now. The other project, yes, the dark CGI with the woman, it was terrible. But at the end, they still had great CGI. But hold on.
Say decent. I didn't say that it was.
Terrible.
There's no way I put it as a great CGI.
Terrible.
I mean,
terrible CGI.
Like, I just as I said, that's my part of it. Like, is that bad? Like, I put this up there with Cloverfield. And anybody that know me know how I feel about Cloverfield.
Well, you got me here good. You don't like Cloverfield?
I love Cloverfield B.
Oh, okay.
I love Cloverfield B.
So this is up there. So no, you gotta explain that there for me.
No,
I know you like Cloverfield.
I love Cloverfield. Like, Cloverfield is just Cloverfield is just that stupid that you have to like it. Like Cloverfield is just that stupid that you have to like it. Like,
movie of happenstance.
There's a move. There is an alien fucking New York City to the north, to the south. is refuge and safety, but he gonna go so to save a woman that turned out he going to a party with another man.
It's the power of love.
That is some good vagina. Stop saying.
I don't even know, boy. I don't know. Probably I never had that kind, boy. Not like maybe go back. Not with the alien a 200-foot alien destroying the city, and I get
So like I say, I love Cloverfield. Like, Cloverfield is just that stupid that I love it. Like, nothing in Cloverfield makes sense. So it's like, all right, cool, I get it. I love it. So I just put this with Cloverfield. Like, I ain't saying that I can say I don't want to watch it if it show again. Like, I would not go out of my way to watch it. But if it is on and I catch it early enough in movie, it would be background noise and they would just look and be like, yeah, makes sense. Like it's just so bad that you gotta like it.
So here's my take on this movie, right? No, I understand what you mean by it was so bad that you gotta like it. I did not like it because to me 2012 is that move, like recent movie from Roland Emmerich where it is a guilty pleasure shoot. I could even kind of sorta, not me, but anybody that like Independence Day Resurgence, I could see that too, right?
Anybody that like that won't shoot him with a shotgun at 20 paces.
That's not fair because you see you like this here. So
no. But
To be fair,
Independence Day research, but then, all right, yes, fair.
You understand?
Like,
so what I'm saying, and I don't have any problem. Like, we all have guilty pleasures. We all have movies that are terrible that we like. 2012 is that one for me out of recent Roland Emmerich movies, right? This movie, 2012, to me, I watched it the other day, and once you could tell that you can like a movie that is bad when it's on TV and you watched it, right? All these years later, I watched it, and it has moments of everything: levity, disbelief, immense disaster. It tried to focus on the human element, and I think it, for the most part, landed it. It was, to me, I like it. But this is not about 2012. This is about Moonfall. No, Moonfall is a bad movie. Let me get that out of the way. Moonfall is a bad movie. It's not only a bad movie, Mark. It's a bad disaster movie. It's a bad movie from Roland Emmerich, being the king of sci-fi disaster. It is a terrible movie. Here's why I say that: because everything moves at such a clip. Like, forget the writing, because the writing does seem like it was written by 3 different men. Because there are, like, as you said, there are so many different things. Any plot, any disaster, anything that fits under the umbrella of disaster that can happen in this movie, it kind of did happen in this, right? To the point of conspiracy theories and a mega structure in the moon, and there was a white dwarf inside the moon, and past ancestry aliens from deep down the galaxy. Like, it had it all. Look at that. Everything in this movie. To me, what made this movie a bad Roland Emmerich sci-fi disaster movie is that it moved from clip to clip, or plot point to plot point. There was no, like, this. You
didn't have time to digest what was going on.
Right, and the movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes, right? And you can tell that it is hurried along. I don't know if there was a lot cut on the editing room floor, or if that's what was intended. So it was terrible. It was terrible because it starts off, as Mark says, with him in space, disgraced astronaut. Sometime later, moon coming out of orbit, and it's just plot point, move, right? Even my suspension of disbelief could not be held, because John Bradley's character, John Bradley, is supposed to be this. He's not a real doctor. He has no credit in science or anything like that. He has no doctorate. He has no degree or anything like that to say that there's some claim. He's a janitor for all we know in this movie, and he just has an inkling of what is going on. He's a janitor at, I think, a university or something like that, in the astrology department or astrophysics department, and he literally has no degree. He has nothing, and he figured out that the moon, before NASA, before any other government in the world, any other space agency in the world, that this moon is falling out. My problem with that is that this man gets unrestricted access to parts in this movie. Like, I understand the moon is falling out of orbit, right? The moon is falling out of orbit. This man gets to walk in on NASA. This man gets to talk and speak to certain people. This man gets to move without question into some places. I'm like, I understand you leaked this information and you've made a discovery, but bruh, you need to be here. And he's brought on the final mission. Granted, it was again, the plot points were moving so quickly, but he didn't need to be on our final mission. He just brought along because he is a man that knows about mega structures. That is like you have a conspiracy on lizard people, and one day lizard people just happen to be real. So you are right that they're lizard people, but we can bring you on as the resident expert on lizard people that nobody knows about. You know what I mean? So he's brought into this mega structure thing, Dyson sphere and all these sorts of things, and it just so happens that everything he has talked about and speculated about and had conspiracy theories over the last so many ever years has come to pass. Everything to technology in the sphere, everything. And I was like, John Bradley, you try to make this man like an everyday man. He's a janitor. He's a blue collar fella. No real education or anything like that. He's just a man that has his passion for this conspiracy. He just happens to be right, and he's brought along on this mission, and he's ended up in the final battle and everything like that. And when you see why he is, well, not see why he is there, but when you see what happens to him in the end, you understand why he came. You understand that you needed a third person to not make it back home. This, you know what I'm saying? You needed that
that kind of fodder.
Yeah, you needed that third person to not make it home.
Because we know we killing Halle Berry.
Yeah, you ain't killing Halle. No,
we killing Halle Berry.
But even if you were gonna kill Halle Berry got a child. Halle Berry got the exchange student. People that love back on the ground. People that love her back on the ground. Same thing with the Patrick Wilson. People that love him on the ground, etc. John Bradley had his mother
and a cat.
Right, his mother and a cat. The mother has Alzheimer's or she has dementia or something like that, so she's in and out. She's not that lucid all the time. So yeah, he could have gone along, and it worked out perfectly in the end for him. But anyhow, it's not to get on John Bradley, but my suspension of disbelief. No, this was like when you have a movie, you set up this movie, right? Like the difference with all the other movies that we have seen from Roland Emmerich, 2012, Independence Day, Day After Tomorrow, all of these other movies set their premise very early. Their motivations, their mythology, everything is set up in the first act, right? So, for example, Independence Day, aliens coming, that's set up early on in the movie, so you know what time it is. The main antagonist is the aliens. 2012, the main antagonist is the sun. Solar flare, destroying the earth, dilemma, right? You have The Day After Tomorrow, I think that's a similar premise or something like that, where
The Day After Tomorrow is
the one with Dennis Quaid.
Right, that is basically another ice age, because of the polar the ice caps. The ice caps melting.
It was natural. It was a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Right? You set that up early, right? But in no way in this first act do we have any inclination other than the ramblings of a conspiracy theorist. We have no concrete proof that there is a megastructure in the movie. None. So when it comes and it hits you like midway through the movie, like or like going on to the third act, that it is a megastructure and it does have a white dwarf, it's like, how we get here? Like how it come to this, right? Anyhow, that said, I thought this movie, man, this movie, it was almost into that 2012 category for me. I mean, and in these movies, I'm not gonna rag on the CGI because let's be honest, in these movies, you're trying to get through the movie, you're trying to get this out to print, right? So you don't really necessarily care if something look odd or off or whatever, because you don't know what it look like when they got a 2-kilometer tidal wave coming at you. You don't know what it is when the gravity passing over your area and sucking at. You don't know what that look like. So
anything, like I said, I mean, any number can play.
Right. But for me, in doing that, right, in all of these disaster movies from Roland Emmerich, all of them showed famous landmarks being destroyed. All of them. To the point where it is a staple in these. Must see is Statue of Liberty, it is the Eiffel Tower, it is the White House, it is
the Flat Earth, it was the Chrysler Building in Godzilla.
Everything like that, right? And we see it being torn apart. Now they do at the end tack it on as like it has moved to Colorado through the disaster or whatever, but it's like I saw nothing grounding it to show that this is a disaster and it is real. If you understand what I'm saying, the context of the movie. Like I'm a world building person. If you give me a world, you set up the world and you show me destruction within that world, it helps me ease in the effort to suspend my disbelief. Right? But when you ain't really got nothing of consequence moving boat and blowing boat and people and trees and thing and snow, I know like look outside and I don't see snow ain't outside by me. Like I can't, the pine trees ain't outside by me. I can't relate to that. So the execution was off for me. The performances, Halle Berry to me was funny, and she mailed it in up until she cried. I would say she mailed it in up until the last act, right? She was coasting through this movie up until the very last act where she hugged her son, cried, and she went into space, and she was trying to give some genuine emotion. But you see, for the first 2/3 of this movie.
Here's the thing. I didn't realize it was Halle Berry when she did space. At the beginning? I didn't realize that was Halle Berry. I was like, who's this?
And that's to show you how mailed in the performance was. Because there was nothing. She was very stiff. She was very hardboard, two-dimensional.
You know, if you go with Justine would say that'd be all she performances. you know, Justin. Justin feel Halle.
Well, I that's another space for another time. Patrick Wilson was alright. He was alright. Actually, because he's a funny man, he's normally a comedian and into comedic roles. And to me, I think he did a very good job. I don't know if there are many action star roles for him in the future, but he held his own. He was decent, right? Charlie Plummer, his son, he is a relative unknown, and he was alright. He was alright. Teenage angst and what's all. Yeah. He was alright. The children were alright, and who else was in it? Donald Sutherland.
Kelly
was alright. Yeah. And Donald Sutherland was in it for literally one scene. 5 minutes.
He just come for a paycheck.
He was just there for exposition. We need an old man to be wise and to know everything and to know about conspiracy. We needed somebody to tie into the 1960s, 69, 70 when they had the moon landings and everything like that. We need somebody old enough that could play that has the acting chops that we could put together. But he was in it for one scene. To me, that was a waste of Donald Sutherland for me. I don't know how to feel.
He was just there so he don't get fined.
Shoot. Who else was in the movie? Pena. Michael Pena. He was alright. It was strange to see him not in a comedic role. I was every time he was on screen, I was expecting something funny, but that is not a not on the movie or poor casting. I just think that's just my own perception and anything else. But he was a terrible in the movie. He sacrificed himself in the end. It was alright.
We knew that was coming.
Right. But by and large, man, this movie was not good. This movie, for as large as it was, and it's interesting, right? Because the stars that were in it, the money that was put behind it, the studios that were involved from China and everything like that, it had all the makings to be not necessarily a AAA Hollywood blockbuster like Independence Day or like Godzilla back in the day, but I thought it would have been a bit more polished. I think that's the best way I want to put it. The polish was not on it.
Around, like going into the third act, where you should be picking up steam is where they kind of faltered. I think the trying to put too much. It's when you outsmart yourself. Like sometimes you just overthink something and outsmart yourself and make things a little more complicated than they should be. I think that's what happened here.
Yeah, to me, they had too much cooks in the broth. And in the kitchen, too many cooks.
If you had taken out, I didn't want to. Let's just say if you wanted to go with the moon is a mega structure angle, like you ain't had to put that. You ain't had to go the Terminator route. You ain't had to do the Terminator route because to me, that came off as lazy.
It did.
Like if you had just said, okay, you had these people and they were both world building and expanding, and they went to different planets to colonize, and they all of a sudden but a planet that got a hostile entity living there already. All right, cool. I could dig with that. I could dig that.
I think I could. I agree with that, right? I could
have gone with that because it's something like, all right, cool. Basically, I mean, in a new story, but you gone to colonize this place, you bought a hostile thing, and they say, oh, you feel smart, you feel bad, come. We can chase one all over, whatever, and we can chase one all over the galaxy and just eradicate y'all. Maybe that would have made the movie a little more coherent, but
for me, to add to that, for me, why I was thinking about this, right? If it were a situation where that, the swarm, nanites or whatever, if that was an alien, that was alien, right? Like that was an alien creation. And the mega structure was an alien creation. And let's say something happened with the alien race, and that particular mega structure went awry, formed the earth, everything. And the man say, we want about the mega structure though. Yeah. We come for this here.
This belongs to me.
We ain't care nothing but what happened because everything that happened on the earth is happenstance. Earth life, all of it, fine. All right, cool. But we didn't intend it to be here. We didn't expect it to be things. So we ain't care nothing about our life. We need it. We got problems to be on. Bring this here. You know what I'm saying? I could have deal with that. But as you said, it was lazy writing. The AI went going rogue and the human race and everything like that. And even, I mean, I guess you didn't want it to be too similar to Independence Day, which is fine because you didn't want to bring in the aliens as an antagonist, and you didn't want to do something as you've done before by making it like the sun.
But technically, the alien is already an antagonist because it was trained to kill. It was trained to kill the moon, which.
No, but no. When I say alien, I mean alien like a biological alien, biological. I don't mean something completely alien to our physiology. I mean like an alien, like.
Okay.
Right. It was just weird. And the alien realizing that biomechanics and electricity or electronics can be together because they have the potential to wipe them out the planet. Like it was just strange. To me, it didn't work. And I think that we're going on too long about Moonfall. So out of 5 moons falling, would you rate this out of 5?
As much as I love it, this gonna get a half an eclipse. It's gonna get a half an eclipse.
I get half an eclipse.
This gonna
get a half moon.
A half moon. This is like a half moon, dog. I mean, yes, it's a guilty pleasure, and at 2 hours and 10 minutes, I can't do that. I would sit and watch it again.
I ain't not guilty. I ain't not guilty.
I'm not guilty. You know what I mean? This is like you said. This is like to 2012 very. Yeah, you could see the logic of it. That this gets a lunar eclipse out of me. A half moon, and not half moon fort, not moon tongue, not Sailor Moon, not the moon walk. A half a moon.
For me, I can give this. I can get a 1, man. I can get a 1 out of 5 because, as much there's a lot more bad than good in the movie. You know me, I always try to see something in it that looked good or came over well or whatever. The cinematography was by the numbers. The music was by the numbers. The plot was moving at a like certain things seemed truncated and cut off. Like even when he was explaining the whole plan at NASA, it was like, boy, I got no questions, no quips, nothing. They just, all right, that's what it is, the way it is. Like, it seemed from scene to scene very truncated, moving on to the next plot and stuff like that. The acting was okay, and that's
the humor was hit or miss. So I will say the humor was hit or miss too.
Yeah, I don't remember anything funny in it. I know there were funny bits, and I know most of the funny bits came between Patrick Wilson and John Bradley. But the movie is not good. We do not recommend it. Do not buy. So that's it. We've been watching another Bad Movie Crew where we reviewed Moonfall. We would highly recommend you don't watch this. It is not for 2 hours and 10 minutes. It just ain't worth it.
If it was hour and a half, hour 46
minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Hour 45 minutes is just about right. But they got better movies from Roland Emmerich to watch. Watch the first Independence Day. Watch 2012. Watch the day after tomorrow. Watch Godzilla 19. No, hold on. Godzilla 98 better than this year.
Oh, no, not as bad as.
Very well. But the point is, there are better movies from Roland Emmerich, or not as bad as movies that you could watch from Roland Emmerich than this. So yeah, Mark, so that's it. Take us home.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us on this lovely episode. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything down the pipeline. And till we hear again, dodge the moon, though. Dodge the moon.